In 3, 2, 1, you are listening to the Real Spicy Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Guys, this week we have part 2 of the episode with future pro bodybuilder Ricardo Casillas. Yes, I said future pro bodybuilder Ricardo Casillas. I'm all about positive vibes and putting things out in the universe. I'm saying this right now, 2021, be ready, because I believe that Ricardo Casillas is about to become a pro bodybuilder. You know what? If people need a hype man, hey, I'm right here because I can be that guy. Up to the stage, we got Ricardo Casillas performing his signature pose. Oh, it's called lifting the world. Everybody make some noise. Woo, 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 I have no idea what I just did, but if y'all need a hype man, hey, slide in the DMs. Or for business inquiries, you can always email me at RealSpicyPodcast@gmail.com. But this week, we talk a little bit about performance enhancement drugs in the industry. Actually, we don't talk a little bit about it. We dive deep into the conversation of performance enhancement drugs, as well as the sponsorships that come with it. I'm going to be honest, guys. I listened to the entire episode already, and there's a lot of things in this world of fitness, especially bodybuilding, that I had no idea that went on. And I'm super excited to share that with you guys. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. That's awesome that you use your knowledge to educate others, and not just from something that you read. It's something that was backed up by science, nutritionists, dietitians.
First.
Yeah.
Like by that time I was like telling people about I only do things if I've experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm not those people like, I read this. No, like if I do it, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's why like with steroids and different things like that, I didn't really have an opinion on it until I started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I did all my research on it and then tried to figure out the best way to go about it. And yeah, it does have its drawback. Yeah, there are side effects.
Yeah.
But to me, the benefits outweigh the side effects.
Everything that I know that you've done is through a professional.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to do it that way to be safe.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more transparent you are about your process, the more people are willing to help you. Because what happens if I have an injection that gets infected and my doctor's like, what the fuck were you doing? Or a needle breaks. Like that's super common, people buying cheap needles, like it breaks in their skin and then they have to go to the doctor to get it taken out. So there's so many different things that can happen. Or what happens if you try to get a cheap source of a steroid and it's something some guy made in his bathtub and it's not sanitary, now you have an infection. Or it's not even steroid, it's just, whatever the fuck it is in the vial. Like you have to spend money to have quality.
Yeah.
If you try to do everything so cheap, you're going to do it again and it's going to be worse. Your medical bill is going to cost more than it would have just to have a doctor oversee everything in the beginning.
Years ago, there was someone in the bodybuilding industry who would be injecting oil into his muscles. Yeah. And he became his video went viral because he injected his arm and that thing became infected. So what did he do? He just took a blade and started cutting it, and just pus came out because it got infected. Is that something that happens often? Obviously not to that severity, because that one was ridiculously graphic, and because I've been around pus and that shit smells horrible, so I can just imagine how that was. But does it happen often where people might not be sanitary, where things might get cross-contaminated? Have you seen that or heard stories within the community?
Yeah, it's very common because it's the same thing. Bodybuilding is super expensive.
Yeah.
Even if you do it the cheapest way, just the food alone is super expensive.
Yeah.
And then you have your coach and your nutritionist, whoever else you hire. If you're there's people that do everything themselves and just do, the research online. But in my experience, those guys never make it far.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, how are you going to beat someone that has a team of people that are professionals at this?
Yeah.
Like my coach, she's been to Olympia 3 times. So it's like, you're going to tell me that your coach has never competed, or your online coach that you don't even know if you're dealing with directly is going to be better than the person that I deal with face to face that's, gone to the pinnacle of the sport 3 times.
Yeah.
So, there is a lot of stories. Like the oil, it's called synthol.
Yeah.
And like Rich Piana and like a lot of guys used to do that because it's bigger, better, right? The 90s was mass monsters. Now they're not doing that anymore because of the same thing. So what that oil does is it deteriorates your muscles.
Yeah.
There's a bodybuilder recently, I forget his name, he had to amputate his leg because of the oils he was using.
Oh, shit.
So there's a lot of drawback too. It's the same thing, But one of the things that I want to say, every athlete that's at a professional level does some sort of performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, no fucking way. Like guys that see the like Brian Shaw stuff, they're like, no, the dude's fat. He's just really strong. No, he's on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
They all have to be to recover.
Yeah.
When you take steroids and you work the shit, like think about the hardest workout of your life, the next day you feel fucking amazing again. That's what it does. Like you can beat your body up and then the next day you're fucking good.
Yeah, which is not, if without any of that.
No, you'd be like in bed for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like try deadlifting whatever he does, like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Once you'd be out for like 2 weeks.
From personal experience, I know the days that well, not anymore because everything's closed, but like the days that I do power lift, I'm out for like the next 2 days.
You feel like your body's recovering and
yeah.
like it's natural. Like if you do without anything, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be sore. If you do it with steroids, you can still be sore, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like you can, like any athlete, even if they test, there's ways around it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
There's ways to manipulate your blood work, things like that. Like any athlete, like say swimmers, they'll have to do it. Why? Endurance.
Yeah.
There's different steroids for different things. There's steroids that make you ripped. There's steroids that make you jacked. There's steroids that make you strong. There's steroids for everything. It's not, everyone puts everything in one category.
Yeah.
And that's where the misconception is.
Yeah.
That it's just one needle. No, it's fucking not. Each thing you do has its own needle, has its own injection, has its, some things have half-lives. So what that means is, like testosterone, a shot lasts 7 days. There's other compounds that only last 2 days. So that means every 2 days you have to inject. So there's different things that you take, and a lot of people are like, it's cheating. No, it's not. It's a way to get ahead. Yes. Mm-hmm. Is it cheating? No, because at that level everyone's fucking doing it. So you're not even having an advantage.
Yeah.
It's just being able to keep up.
Yeah.
So like just in bodybuilding, the steroids help you keep your muscle and lose the fat. They help you recover. The recovery is the best. To me, it's the best fucking thing because you can put your body through hell, and the next day you're fucking fine. You know, you're a little sore, but not where you would be if you did it by yourself.
Yeah.
But there's athletes that they forget, like wrestling. They do steroids.
Oh, absolutely.
Recovery. Hockey players, they're not jacked, but they're playing, 100 games a season?
Yep.
Baseball players, 100 games a season? Dude, there's people that don't even work out 100 days a year, and they're fucked up. My knee hurts, my shoulder hurts. Now imagine football players, they get beat up for 16 weeks during season. How are you going to get hit by a Mack truck, you know, a 300-pound dude, play after play after play, and then 7 days later do it again and be just as fresh?
Yeah.
So people always think like, oh, they don't do it, they get tested. No, they just means they fucked up because they didn't do the right procedure leading up to the test.
Right now, it's a good education, I think, for those that are listening and watching, because all I know steroids is shit makes you jack, and that's all I think I've ever heard. Before I did weight loss as well, the one thing that kind of deterred me from going to the gym is the fact that I felt like dying every single day. The next day I would be so sore, and when you're sore, what? You just don't want to go. Like, why are you going to put your body through so much pain if you can't move the next day? So people give up. BCAAs can only do so much for you, which are branched-chain amino acids.
It's not even that. Like, if you eat meat, you don't need BCAAs.
Yeah.
So, like, most meat, even broccoli, like, it has BCAAs. So the reason why bodybuilders take BCAAs is because you have a restrictive diet.
Yeah.
So if you're not a bodybuilder and you're eating everything in majority or fitting your macros, you don't need BCAAs. So that's like the biggest thing. Everyone's like, I need my BCAAs, I need my protein, I need this. But if you're not in a caloric deficit, you don't need it. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
But on the inverse, I like BCAAs.
Yeah.
If I'm on steroids, I'm not going to lose muscle. My body has whatever it needs. Mm-hmm. But I think of BCAAs for me to help me drink water. That's why I like BCAAs. Because I'll put in a gallon of water, and I have a gallon of water, and it's sugar-free, healthy, all that shit.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, oh, I need it for workout, you can have it to have your water through your workout.
Yeah.
But if you're eating meat and you're eating a full diet, you don't need any of that shit. Like, there's really no supplement that you really need.
Yeah.
Like, and that's me saying that I'm, you know, affiliated with a supplement company, but I can tell you that if you have a full diet, none of that shit's gonna supplement stuff you're not taking.
Yeah.
Like, there's other supplements that you can take, like pre-workout. There's no fucking way you're gonna get as jacked, you know, jacked as far as enthusiastic for a workout without pre-workout, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, as far as, like, anything that I would spend my money on, just pre-workout.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, anything else, like, creatine, it's in meat, it's in some vegetables, you don't fucking need it. BCAAs, like I said, you don't need it, but if you have problems drinking water, it's a great alternative.
Yeah.
And stay hydrated. Like I like BCAAs when I'm hungover. Like that's
Yes.
like the perfect, segue for that. But a lot of the things, like your eyes get open when you start getting into any industry. Like I'm sure there's different things that you've seen. And to kind of backtrack, I like Ric Flair. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan, right?
Yeah.
If you read his, like, he had a documentary where he talked about, like, he just partied all the fucking time.
Yep.
But look at his body. He was jacked everywhere but his stomach.
Yeah.
So he was training, with Hulk Hogan. I think he was training in Japan, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
When he was doing that, he admits to doing steroids. And you can see his body's jacked, but he has a gut.
Yep.
But then he talks about, he's like, oh, I never did cardio, I never did a diet, we would stay out till 3 a.m. drinking. So, like I said, steroids only go so far. Like the guys that are like ripped with 6-packs and stuff, that's because they diet and do cardio.
Yeah.
You can get like Brian Shaw or any of those guys, like the mountain, huge mass with steroids, and you don't have to diet, but you're not going to look, chiseled, 5% body fat.
You are the first social influencer that I've had on the podcast, and I want to talk a little bit about that and how you were able to capitalize on the fitness world and capitalize on the social influencing, because fitness, people love it. They love to follow people, and it seems like you grew a pretty good following based on that. How has that changed the way you look at supplements, and also is it possible to make a living based off either ad revenue or sponsorships? How has that changed for you?
Honestly, it's made me more jaded.
Uh-huh.
So the reason I can be so honest about it is because I'm financially stable on my own without everything else is just hobby.
Yeah.
Right? So like if they drop me or they stop paying, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So the way it started was you have to market yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was 23, 22, I was like 240,
mm-hmm.
right? I went through a breakup, whatever, gained weight, and then I lost weight. That was the only time in my life I was that size.
Yeah.
But when I did my show, you put the picture side by side,
Yes.
even though it's like 7-year difference.
Yeah.
People don't ask the time frame.
No, they don't care.
Yeah, they just see like, oh damn, he was 240, now he's fucking ripped. That, like, I did that, and then that's what supplement companies like, hey. They started talking to me. And the ones that I wanted didn't want to talk to me, and the ones that I didn't want are the ones like sending me shit. And then the one that I found really fit my personality. They don't give a fuck. They're very unapologetic. I like them. I like their products that they have. I was like, all right, well, that's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
As far as like being able to make a living off of it, yes and no.
Okay.
So you could make a living off of it. A lavish one, no. As far as paying your bills, you can, but the thing is, as soon as you get it, that's how quickly they can take it away.
Yeah.
You don't follow what they tell you to do, or you lose weight, or you don't look the part anymore, it's gone.
Yeah.
So if I would recommend that, no. Honestly, I wouldn't. If anything, I would recommend someone just stay on their own until they get an offer where it's like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are quick to take like discount codes and shit like that, but they're not getting any benefit. Like maybe 90% of the companies that reached out to me, they're like, well, if you buy $100 worth of our product, we'll give you double the product. So how are you sponsoring me if I have to buy your shit that I've never even tried?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's a really good this, blah, 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 we'll feature you on your social media. But some of these companies, I have more followers than them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get caught up wanting to flash a lifestyle. Like, some people do that. They'll buy products that they don't believe in, or they buy clothes that they don't like to get a discount code so they can show people that they're somebody.
Yes.
So, and that's like the biggest thing where it's like, what the fuck? Like, I told my people, I was like, I'm never going to go to a company that I have to buy anything from.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they ask you, spend a penny, I'm out. Because it shouldn't be that way. If you're the product they want, they have to give you your shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose the one that I went to, because they send you samples, they send you shit, they don't give a fuck. They've never asked me once to order anything.
Yeah.
Once. They send me shirts and pre-workouts and shaker, whatever the fuck I ask, they send me.
Yeah.
Those are the type of deals people should be pursuing.
Absolutely.
But people jump the gun too early. They do one show, or they lose 50 pounds, or whatever it is, and they're like, I'm an influencer now. Use my discount code. But then they're spending more money on the product than they're getting in return.
Yep.
Because there's a bunch of guys that do that with like meal prep companies. They're spending hundreds of dollars a week on meal prep, to be sponsored, but they're not getting anything back.
Yeah.
Besides a discount code and a t-shirt. So it's like,
yeah.
You know, you have to be smart about it, and some guys get desperate about it.
When I first started, and I told you, and you told me this exact story. You said, so what's the goal? And I was like, well, the goal is my New Year's resolution. And I feel like I mentioned it now in 3 episodes, but it was my New Year's resolution to have this podcast. But then you're like, no, well, like, what do you plan on, think future, like, what do you see this going? I want a sponsorship. You're like, why? And then you were like really adamant, like, no, stop focusing on that. Why? I wanted a sponsorship because that shit's going to legitimize. And then you told me the exact same story. Hence why I wanted you to come on here, and I wanted that story to be told. Because this whole time I had this idea. If I get a sponsorship, it's going to legitimize me.
But that's irrelevant. It's going to limit your message.
Yeah.
So say you want to have a conversation about something, and the sponsor's like, no, don't talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different things where it can affect you. And then, but if you wait, you'll get a sponsor that loves the product that you have, and they're going to tell you, don't change a thing. And it's the same thing. Like, you don't like, people get so caught up wanting to be influencers or somebody or famous and shit like that, that they forget what their ultimate goal was or what their objective was.
Yep.
So if you do that, you're just starting, and you're going to change the path that you were destined to go to because you wanted a quick buck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're doing this podcast, if I give you $50, will you talk about only the things that I want you to talk about, or are you going to talk about things that you want to talk about?
Oh, see, that's a good run right there, yeah. Because as soon as you give me that, now it's kind of like a contract.
Yeah.
Talk about only what I want. Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. Like, you wanted a sponsor, which is a great goal, but if you get one too soon, they're going to control your artistic ability. Yeah. Their artistic license. They're going to be like, you know what? Take the tequila out of the thing, or take these out of the thing, or talk about this, or make sure you talk about this, or plug our product but make it seem like this.
Yes.
So that's why I told you, like, it's better to wait. And I get there's some people that the finances and things like that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
I get it. But be a business person about it.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, know your worth.
Yeah.
Is it worth, like, you have to think about what amount of money would it be worth it for you to change the way you want things to be.
Oh, yeah.
So $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000.
Yeah.
What's the number that's your price?
Okay.
So that's how you have to see it. Like, what are you willing to do, or what are you willing to whatever? And some people are sellouts.
Oh, absolutely.
And some people, you know, they change it. Like with me, I don't feel like I sold out going with this company. I feel like I got lucky to get a one where I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And they were giving me, but since everything with the virus and everything shutting down, I told them, I was like, you know, I'm going to part ways. Not because I don't like the company or anything like that, but because I'm not in the gym. And I don't feel like I'm going to sell product to people that can't be in the gym.
Yeah.
So there's no point. I was like, I'm not going to be pushing product. Right now, people don't have jobs they can't afford. I'm not going to push product that they can't go to the gym, they can't take. Like, right now, everyone has to worry about their well-being and their family. Like, I'm going to push, you know, $100 pills to somebody and they don't have a job and their rent and this and that. No. Yeah. To me, I don't feel right doing that.
Okay.
So that's what I told him. I was like, you know, it's not, I don't like the product. I said, I always loved the product. I like the company. I know the CEO, like, we talk all that stuff, but I'm just like, I'm just going to go in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, when I go pro, whenever that is, you'll be the first person I contact if you guys want to sign me as an athlete. Yeah. I was like, but until then, I'm just going to, you know, be out of it and kind of go from there. Because it's the same thing. Like, I don't have an abundance of followers, but I care about what I put out there. Yeah. Like, I don't want someone to be like, a lot of my friends will DM me and they're like, hey, I want to get this, this, and this. And I was like, all right, well, just send me what you want and I can get you 40% off. That way you don't pay full price. Yeah. Or I'll tell them, this and this is not worth the money. Don't take that. Yeah. This is okay or whatever. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not, what am I going to do with a commission? Yeah. Like, I'm going to get, like, you know, $20. Like, I'd rather keep the friendship and tell them, like, this is what you should take or this is what you should take or whatever it is. And that's the same thing because surprisingly more women hit me up about supplements than men, and they're serious about it. Really? Yeah. Like, more women take the pre-workout that I recommend them than guys do. And they're like, I love it, or I like this, or this is better for me, or whatever it is. And it's other girls that compete, shit like that. Yeah. They give me that shit for free. If you're on steroids, you don't need to take a lot of that shit. Yeah. So I give it away. I'm like, here, have this, or whatever it is. Try. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a luxury some people don't have. Yes. So it kind of just depends on your personal morals and what you want to achieve, and that's why I told him, like, don't sell out yet.
Yeah.
Like, get it where you want it to be. Like, go the Joe Rogan route. Build your show how you want to build it,
Yeah.
and then someone's going to pay you a shit ton for what you have.
Absolutely. With the new recent one, before we even started this, hey man, you're going to make it on Spotify, get that
Yeah.
brand deal. Yo, like I think right now he just revolutionized the way podcasting is going to be. How it's going to be exclusive to certain brands. That's amazing.
Yeah, like
so,
music.
Yeah. You know how like certain artists are entitled. I think that's a big one, and certain artists are only on Apple Music. And but there's one thing that I mentioned that I wanted to talk to you, and that was the obscured offers that you were given as far as either codes or contracts that you were given that you probably looked at them and, what the fuck is this? Are you serious? Have you had any of those yet?
Yeah, I mean, most of them are like, if you buy, I think one of them was like $500 worth of our clothes, we'll send you $1,000 of our clothes, and we'll feature you on our Instagram, and this, and this. So you're pretty much spending $500 to be on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So most of them are like that. I don't give a fuck. It's like Titan Fitness, different like clothing brands. Like some of them I don't even see, and it's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
Like some of them are fucking gone, and a lot of them are just like fucking weird. And that's the thing. Like companies that started like different pre-workouts and stuff like that, they'll hit me up like, "Hey, try our product." I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's in this. I don't know where you made this. Like I don't, like I don't want to take something. Like I did make that mistake. There was. Someone recommended me this Miami Vice called pre-workout.
Yeah.
I had the worst fucking headache of my life when I took it. And I was like, dude, I'm never taking anything again from any company that I don't know.
Yeah.
Or that's not reputable. So I was like, never fucking again.
Yeah. Did you figure out what it was, like the ingredient?
No, I threw that shit away. And they're like, well, didn't you love it? It's so good. And I was like, I threw it away. It gave me a headache. And they're like, why? And I was like, because it gave me a headache. It made me sick. They're like, oh, you could have given it another chance. And I was like, if something gives you a headache, I'm not going to give it another chance.
I remember one, I don't know the company, but I took it and I was so bloated at the gym. Like, I went for a squat and I farted. I was, what the? And I knew my diet. I know what gets me that way, which is like, anything with lactose in it. So if it's milk, get away. Yeah. Like, it's a danger zone. And I know that I had nothing. I just was so bloated. I was like, what the fuck did I have today? And it's so embarrassing because I'm this really big guy with very small weights on my back, and I'm the guy who farts. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, ever since, like, it has to be the pre-workout. And I went back, the next day, because I wasn't sore. I left because I was so embarrassed. I'm like, no, like, this, I felt really uncomfortable. And then the next day, no pre-workout, nothing. I had the same diet. Have you gotten any companies where they have a very legitimate approach and maybe plan, but the more you dig into them, they have, like, 2,000 followers, and it's just a shitty company, but with a really good marketing execution? Have you had any of those?
Yeah, I mean, there's some companies that are like that, and just the followers, you can't really correlate with the brand itself. Mm-hmm. Because, like, the protein that I recommended to you, the My Protein one. Yeah. When I started taking them, they didn't have a lot of followers. Yeah. They had maybe, like, 90,000. Like, they didn't have a lot. Yeah. And that's the best shit that I've taken, and that's the one I recommend.
I love it. It's so, it shakes really well. What's the word? It blends really well.
Yeah. And that's like the purest one. That's like awards from their lab. So you can't correlate their followers to that. Mm. And then there's other ones where, like this company called Finaflex. Yes. I love their diet pill. Mm-hmm. Their diet pill is the best one I've ever had. It's like $20. It's the one I recommend, because my sponsored one is like fucking $100. There's no, like, a diet pill, you need 2 bottles. Yeah. I'm not going to tell someone to buy $200 bottles and no. It's just caffeine, that's all it is. Yeah. So the Finaflex one's like $20. I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. I like their product. Their pre-workout was good. When I started reaching out to them, they didn't have a social media presence like they do now. They didn't have a booth at Olympia, none of that. And then when I started bodybuilding, I reached out to them again, and they're like, well, we're trying to appeal to the fitness industry, but not bodybuilding. So more like just lifestyle people.
Like the Beachbody thing.
Yeah. Okay. So they're like, you don't have the look we're looking for with the tattoos, blah blah blah. At that time, I wasn't even that big. I was just cut. And they're like, it's the tattoos, and like, it's not really the image that we want. And I was like, all right, whatever. And that's when I went to the other company. They're like, no, like all their dudes have tattoos. I fit what they're selling.
Yeah.
And with Finaflex, I didn't, and I really liked their product. And earlier, I was gonna work a deal with them, but it fell through. But it's the same thing. Their marketing approach sucked, their business plan sucked, but I knew the product was good itself because I had tried it. I tried it before I talked to them.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's different things that you can go through, and then me having my own business, I know a lot of the things to look for that are red flags as far as like in contracts, and you could always tell, you know, there's certain verbiage. Like I think on my Instagram a couple months ago I posted about like nonprofits.
Yeah.
You and I have the same master's degree where you do focus on nonprofits, so you know what to ask and look for.
Yep.
And then when they can't do it, you're like, you're fucking fake, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing for me in the business world. There's different things that I ask, and they're like, well, we don't have that. And I was like, how do you not have that in the contract?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll ask questions like, am I exclusive to you? Well, yes. And I was like, but it's not in the contract. And I was like, can I talk to other companies? No, but it's not in the contract. And I was like, is there images that I had to keep up or weight or whatever it is? And they're like, yes, yes, and this. And I was like, but it's not in the contract.
Yeah.
So that's how you know they're not prepared for those questions, and they'll take anyone that, like, someone's like, I'll just sign anywhere.
Yeah.
So those are things that you have to look for, because people get duped all the time. Like, think about how many people buy cars with like super high interest, or buy cars. Like one of the biggest things, like those like Mexican car places.
Yep.
There was a report that they only lease you the car, so you think you're buying it, but the contract says it's a lease.
Yep.
So when you finish paying it off, you have to pay them like another like $2,000 or $3,000 to make the car yours.
Yep.
So it's like you have to read everything or ask the tough questions.
Yeah.
And our generation, our society doesn't fucking do that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate saying this because it's so fucked up, but companies like that, I think, really cater to the ignorant. Because I always say, has always been my philosophy, there's two types of people. There are stupid people and ignorant people. Stupid people are the ones that know the information, just don't act upon it. Ignorant people are the ones that don't know the information, hence why they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people are in that situation. This is their first time, they're ignorant about the situation, so they just sign. And I think a lot of companies, car companies, you name it, they exploit it. They
cable
exploit
companies, cell phone companies.
They exploit.
And it's always
the fuck out of you.
minorities.
Yep.
I mean, we both have Mexican family members, and you're like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Well, it was there. Why are you spending $200 for cable? You have like 9 channels. Well, it was there. You know, like they don't fucking do the research.
Yep.
And it's almost like a burden for us, for our generation, because we have to be like, no, do this, or no, change it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with supplements. Like some people just take, they go to GNC or supplement shop, and the guy's like, take this, because he's getting commission to push that product. I'm like, oh, okay, does it work? Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people talk about the jitters. I've only had one that gives me the jitters, and it was just like, normally it's okay, but other times I was shaking.
See, I like the jitters.
Do you like
when the jitters hit, it's time to work out.
Oh,
you're
okay.
like, okay, I'm ready. Versus you're like, is it gonna kick in? So like, you get the face tingles and the jitters. You're like, all right, it's time to fucking work out. And when you work out, it goes away.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because again, I don't know too much about it, so I remember I had one, and it just like, what the fuck is going on? My hands are shaking. I was like, I don't like this, and I thought it was always bad, and hence I was like, no, this is not for me. Yeah. That's why I stopped doing pre-workout. I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, and plus I'm sore for the next 3 days. Fuck this.
Have you ever had a Bang energy drink?
No, because of that.
Because of that?
Yeah.
What energy drinks have you ever had?
Red Bull.
Okay, so Red Bull is the equivalent of half a scoop of pre-workout.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the thing. Like, people buy energy drinks because of the flavor or the marketing.
Yeah.
Bang has 300 milligrams of caffeine.
It's a ton.
Yeah. Rockstar 150. Red Bull, I think it's 150.
Yeah.
Monster is like 200. So Bang got popular because the flavors, the marketing, but it has the most fucking caffeine. Yes. That's why everyone's like, I fucking love Bang. It wakes me up. Yeah, because it has double the caffeine of a Red Bull, has double the caffeine of a Rockstar.
Yep.
But that's the thing. People don't read the labels.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next one? Rain. Everybody wanted Rain energy drinks.
Yep.
Because it has 300 milligrams of caffeine. That's like the formula. If the more caffeine it has, people fucking want it.
Yeah.
More caffeine, 0 calories. That's the selling point. Because there's like those NOS ones and shit like that have like 200 calories. Or like Monster with full sugar, like stuff like that. Like, the flavors sell, but people want the caffeine.
Yeah. It's
the same shit. People don't do drugs because they want the shit that it's mixed with. They want the fucking drug.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. People want the caffeine effect from the energy drink.
Ah, okay.
So if you have a Bang energy drink, you're literally having 1 scoop of pre-workout.
Yeah.
But the difference is that pre-workout has like beta-alanine that gives you the jitters, has a bunch of other chemicals to kind of get your blood flowing where you need to go.
Yeah.
You know? So a lot of times, like, people think protein.
Yep.
But realistically, your body only breaks down 25 grams per hour.
Yeah.
So if you eat 500 grams of protein, there's no fucking way your body's going to break it down by the time you eat again.
Yeah.
So, you know, each meal is about 50 grams of protein. That's why you eat every 2 to 3 hours, because that's how long it takes for your body to break it down. So that's like a common misconception about everything. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, protein. Okay, but if you're eating, you know, you weigh 200 pounds, you only need 300 max grams of protein. But they're eating 700, 800, they're going to gain weight.
Yeah.
Same thing with carbs. What do you hear? Carbs are bad.
Yeah.
They're not fucking bad.
No. That's what I learned from my dietitian. Yeah. They're actually really good.
Yeah. They keep your muscles full.
Yeah.
You know, they help your body out. But if you eat too many, it's the same fucking thing.
And the wrong ones too. Yeah. Like for her, she just kept telling me, hey, you should probably eat rice before you work out and after. The fuck? Yeah. I thought that was bad. No. The way you're working out your body, great. But you're killing it. And you don't have enough nutrition in your muscles. That's why you're sore all the time. Oh shit, I didn't know. So I learned a lot. So
you know what a hack is for that?
What?
Baby cream of rice. Gerber cream of rice.
What?
So if you go to the baby aisle, they have cream of rice.
Yeah.
Right? Which is just rice that's grinded down.
Yeah.
But if you get the one that's Gerber for babies, it's super fine powder. And it doesn't take a lot. So like you could have like maybe like up to here.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 cups of rice.
Oh shit! Okay,
yeah. So
it's concentrated.
Yeah, so it's just ground up really fine. So you mix it with water, you put a little cinnamon in it, have it before you work out. Quick digesting, you'll get a pump. You work out, you don't feel full. Versus if you have a cup of rice, you're gonna feel kind of full.
You feel hella full.
Yeah.
That is smart. See, also you also describe like a hack to like a protein horchata. Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, that sounds bomb. Yeah. As soon as you said cinnamon, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like horchata. Horchata is rice milk.
Yeah, because it just tastes like rice, kind of like plasticky, like that taste.
Yeah.
But the cream of rice, you put like 2 little spoonfuls. Mm-hmm. It's like a cup of rice worth. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Oh. See, I didn't know that.
So
I've never heard of that.
Don't do that shit because you'll eat too much.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do it before a workout, I do that, or like I toast sourdough. Sourdough doesn't have any fat.
Yeah.
It's quick digesting. I do that before my workouts.
Oh, okay, very smart. Damn, yeah. So, but also you've been in the game for quite a bit, so you know all these hacks.
I've puked so many times at the gym.
Oh, have you?
Because I've had my meal and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go work out.
Yeah.
And then like 30 minutes, I'm like, ugh.
Damn, dude, I think we're gonna end it on. Dude, I feel like I came out of this episode like I thought I knew a lot about because I lost quite a bit of weight, and I'm like, all right, what new thing is he gonna teach me? I feel like, holy shit, I think I learned too much. I'm not ready. I'm like, yo, this is Saturday. I'm not here to learn. I graduated school already. Fuck this. But I feel really educated, and thank you for educating myself and those that are listening. Is there anything that you want to plug in before we call it the day?
Yeah, so you can follow my Instagram. It's RICCO CASILLAS. It's just my name. I'm not a douche because it looks like I'm a douche because I post a lot of working out stuff.
Yeah. But that's your brand, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You can see the transformations, but now you know everything's fake. Like it's not before and after. Everything's like they give you a script of what to do. Be like, make it more dramatic, make it this, and I've done that. So I mean, feel free to slide in my DMs if you guys have any questions.
Okay. Awesome.
Anything like that. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned for number 2, and then the next episode.
And that concludes a 2-part series with future pro bodybuilder Ricardo Casillas. Hopefully you guys learned as much as I did about this industry. There's a lot of moving parts that honestly I had no idea that went on, and we just literally scratched the surface. I can only imagine how much more there is as like the deeper you get into it. But with all that being said, make sure, hold on. To watch with your eyes what you heard with your ears, make sure to check us out on YouTube. Smash that like button, comment down below, and you can definitely listen to us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. If you're on Apple, guys, do me a huge favor, rate down below and comment. Let me hear what you guys have to say, because I'm all about improving and becoming a better version of myself, a better version of this podcast. And all of this honestly wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for listening. On that, I'm out.